Are you struggling to get dinner on the table during the week? The kids are probably asking you a bazillion questions, you're exhausted, and everyone still needs to eat, and you still need to figure out what to eat for dinner. In this quick video, I'm going to walk you through the easiest structure that I've implemented in my own life that ensures that I get dinner on the table each day during the week, no matter how crazy busy my week is. And don't worry about taking notes, because if you let me know in the comments below, I will send you a cheat sheet that has all of the notes from everything I'm going to talk about in that document. So again, over the course of the next 3 to 5 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the structures that I've implemented in my own life that help me, like I said, get dinner on the table each and every night without the struggle of what the heck am I going to cook while everybody's coming at me for everything that they need. So the first thing, part of the reason why it's so hard to get dinner on the table, especially during a busy week, is because of something called decision fatigue. If you are trying to make a decision for what to do for dinner in the moment, after you get home from a long day, or maybe you've been home and it's still been a long day, if you are trying to make the decision at the end of the day, you've already expended your decision-making power earlier in the day. So you really don't have that much bandwidth, that much energy, that much space to make a decision, which is why it's so hard. Think of your decision-making ability as a cup of water. And each time you make a decision, no matter how big or how small throughout the day, you're dumping a little bit of that water out. And by the end of the day, if you've consistently been making decisions, consistently been dumping water out, you're not going to have that much left to make a decision for what to cook for dinner, right? Especially at a time when there's a lot going on and there are a lot of family members or people that are also coming to you with competing needs. So the thing that I've done for myself, right, to combat that is I either decide what I'm cooking that day at the beginning of the day, or I meal plan, right? I do my best to make the decision ahead of time. One of the great things about meal planning is that you can plan out a week on one day. And I know you might be thinking, oh, but then what happens when I get to the day and I don't want to make that, right? There's still flexibility with a meal plan. The point is that you're making the decision ahead of time. So that way, when it comes to game time shot, you're not having to make that decision. It's already a decision you've made, thus eliminating that decision fatigue element. The other thing that I do, right, I mentioned meal planning. I also batch cook. There are some nights where I don't even cook dinner anymore because I intentionally cook a larger meal, maybe say 2 to 3 days of the week, that'll then get me an extra either lunch or dinner out of them. And my family knows this. They know I don't cook every night. So batch cooking is another thing that you can implement to help eliminate that decision fatigue, to help eliminate that dinner time craze. And then another thing that I've implemented, right, to help me make sure that I get dinner on the table. And this is really important for those nights where you're like, I really just don't want to put on my meal plan. In those nights, it's important you have two options, the way that I see it. And these are the last two things that I've implemented for myself. One, you have the option to have a list of go-to meals that you and your family love, that you keep the ingredients stocked at your house at all times. We have a list of about probably 3 to 5 go-to meals, and they're from pantry staples or freezer staples or things that I consistently buy, so that if it comes to a night where I'm not feeling what I've planned, I can go ahead and sub in one of those meals. The other option, which is again something that I also do, is, and the most important one with all of this, is being flexible with yourself. There are going to be those nights where you just don't have the energy to cook, right? In part from decision fatigue throughout the day, throughout your week. And you have to be flexible with yourself and allow yourself the space to eat out. right? Order in, maybe. Maybe it's order your pizza. Maybe it's ordering, some form of takeout, your family's favorite takeout. Maybe it's just swinging through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. But you have to have that flexibility with yourself. I, in fact, plan to have that flexibility each and every week. I don't necessarily plan the exact day. And when I meal plan, going back to meal planning for a minute, I plug everything in on a specific day of the week, but I don't necessarily always cook it that day because I have remained so flexible to where I can kind of shuffle things around during the week based on what's popped up. Sometimes I forget that we have soccer on Thursday nights and I'm like, oh, I did not plan a crock pot meal because on soccer nights, the nights that we have things going on later into the evening, I'm not doing any sort of cooking. So, sorry. So, I will likely either do a crock pot or that's one of those nights that we'll take one of those batch meals that I've cooked and we'll just have leftovers or we'll eat out. But I maintain that flexibility. So, like I said, I hope you didn't take any notes. I hope you paid attention. Let me know down below if you'd like the cheat sheet that goes over everything that I've covered on how I have managed to eliminate that weeknight meal struggle by implementing these simple tools and strategies and helped myself and my family make sure, like I said, we've got dinner on the table each night of the week.